Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of December 1st. You have this family and heritage card. It says it's time to get back in touch with loved ones you've been away from. You have this Aquarius card. It says rebellion. Think outside the box and stretch the boundaries of what could be. Yes, I mean, all air signs should be doing that for the next 19 years while Pluto is in Aquarius. It's all about that. Also, Uranus and Gemini, pretty much the same thing. We have to stretch the boundaries of what we are able to accomplish or how we accomplish things. So I think that's an amazing energy for you, Libra. I would definitely be taking advantage of it. In your current general energies, you have the Page of Cups, the Magician, and the Six of Pentacles. Page of Cups, and now you have the Lovers, and the Magician pointing to the Lovers. So the Page of Cups can be an admirer, and you have this love card. Look at that. So you've been, I'm pretty sure in your December reading, you were like one of the only signs that actually had love in their reading. So there could be a person coming in for you if you are looking for, love. It's probably something you've been asking for, Libra. It could be like a specific person. And look at this. You have this Success in Love card as well. So clearly would be good for love. And again, even if you don't want love, and even if you do, we have Uranus retrograding in Taurus, and Uranus in Taurus is amazing for the energy of love. So this could be anything that you could love or that you could express love towards. It could be even a project, or could be yourself. There's a big one, right? Just loving yourself is good. And so I think everybody should do that. And that could definitely be a solid focus for you, Libra, with the Page of Cups. He has this fish right here, and that fish is something that he needs to capture. It's something he needs to bring down to earth. It is his dream. Some people say that fish is his pet. Some people say that it doesn't exist. It's part of his imagination. Some people say he caught the fish. All I know is he needs to bring that fish down to earth because he is imagining something that could improve his life. And maybe he needs to express love towards it or have enough love for himself. So, self-love is very good. You are ruled by Venus, just like Taurus, right? So I would be using that vibe. You have the Magician. I do feel like you've asked for something. If it's not love, I feel it's a choice, like a decision. He is pointing to the Lovers. The Lovers, of course, can be love, but the Lovers can also be a choice or a decision that you have to make. And if you've been asking for an answer, for example, like, what steps should I take, or, what should I be doing? I feel like you could be attracting answers. I also feel like you're attracting tools as well. The Magician has these mastery over all the suits in the tarot in front of him. So he has mastery over all the tools of the tarot, and he can use whichever energy is best for the job that he is trying to be successful at. That could be anything. And he uses the right tool for the job. Again, the trick with Uranus and Gemini next year, when Uranus moves back into Gemini, although I would start now. I tell everybody, astrology is like a wave. You can catch it early. Uranus has already been in Gemini. And so we can take advantage of the energy even though Uranus is retrograding in Taurus. And we have to be flexible in how we accomplish things. Again, I really feel that Neptune and Pisces has also been teaching us this for a very long period of time. With Neptune and Pisces, it's like how you start is not how you're going to finish, or how you think you're going to start something is not how you're going to finish, right? And same thing with Uranus and Gemini, kind of. We have to be willing to go against the grain. We have to be willing to experiment, innovate, try new tools, try new things. And if you do that, you will be very successful. And so I would, take advantage of the things that you're learning or your tools. We are in a time of significant reinvention for sure. So, he has this snake wrapped around his waist. The snake on the Magician represents reinvention or reinventing yourself. We're in the year of the snake in the Chinese zodiac. So, I think using any energy that you possibly can to, to become the person that you truly want to be would be very good with the Magician as well. You have the Death card right next to it. And again, this is, December is one of those months where, sometimes I just feel the cards are playing with the astrology a little bit better than other times. And December seems to be one of those months where it's like the cards are matching up with what's going on. And, we have Mercury retrograde right now in Scorpio, and it will be moving direct on the 29th of November, of course. And so if you're watching this after that, it's already direct, but it's going to go direct in Scorpio. We also have Saturn going direct on the 27th. And Saturn is like karma. but karma can be part of our story. And so, again, the cards are playing very nicely with the astrology and kind of saying you could be changing your karmic story or, part of your story as well. You have the Six of Pentacles. It's kind of interesting. It's like there's more fairness. I definitely do not think that we're entering into a very fair time. And I'm not saying this to scare people or anything. It's not that big of a deal. I just think people need to understand that if you're starting something, it's not going to be like 50-50, right? Like, or, if you're starting a business, for example, you're probably not going to make $1 million overnight. But if you put the work in, you eventually will. But there might be a period of time where there is a lack of balance, right? Where you're kind of putting in more than you're getting out. But what I would say is the Six of Pentacles has been coming up like crazy. So Six of Pentacles would be fair. Six of Pentacles would say, it's like, maybe you're not making that $1 million overnight, but, maybe the results are better than you expect. So it's definitely worth it to, get started on new things at the end of the year here. Again, I haven't, normally I see a ton of aces at the beginning of the year, and you actually have no aces in this reading, but, I'm just saying. And at the end of the year here, we have seen a ton of aces in the reading. So it kind of makes me feel like we're, that this year, 2026, I should say, is maybe either starting a little bit early or it's encouraging us to get moving on something a little bit early. With the Page of Cups, you have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is like a card of wealth and wealth building and focusing on stability, which definitely I feel you could be one of the signs that is more focused on, creating stability or making things more stable in your life. I feel pretty good about this. Sometimes I don't really like the King of Pentacles. He can be a little bit boring. He can be a little bit too stuck in the past in the sense that he just does what works, which isn't really a bad thing, but it can be, if he needs to innovate. But, again, overall, I feel pretty good about it. With the Magician, you have the Three of Cups. Could be a friend. If you're interested in a friend. I think I said this to you in your December monthly reading, that you could be attracting a friend or someone you know. And so, yeah, if I did say that to you, then, I would say socializing or spending time with friends could bring love. You also have that card that said, get back in touch with loved ones you've been away from. And obviously, it's the holiday season, so, Three of Cups comes up like every single year around this time of the year, so it makes perfect sense. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles could be a really big opportunity. Like I said, I think something... Again, I'm not trying to be clickbaity here or anything, and again, I have to be very careful with my words, because, sometimes people say, you said this was going to be easy, and I had to lift a finger. Yes, you're going to have to put the work in, but, what I would say is I think something's going to work a little bit better than you think. Does that mean it's going to be amazing right off the bat? Probably not, but, it's still probably going to be pretty freaking good here, Libra. So whatever you're creating or working on, I would put the work in with that Six of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is like planting a garden. Six of Pentacles is like planting seeds. So, it seems to me like you're planting seeds towards a really solid opportunity here. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this card that says you are good enough. We talked all about self-love at the beginning of the reading, and that it just seemed important to me at the time with the Page of Cups. So I think this Page of Cups could also be just saying you need to practice a lot more self-love. You have this full moon in Taurus. It says your dreams need a practical plan. Six of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is just like straightforward work. You're just taking the steps necessary. And that's exactly what I would do. And, as a matter of fact, Libra, your very first card here is the Ten of Wands. I kind of feel this Ten of Wands is saying don't overcomplicate things and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Same thing with the King of Pentacles. If something works, it's just going to work. And if you just follow the steps, I understand the desire to kind of add your own twist to things, and I'm not telling you that you shouldn't, because we're in an amazing time of experimentation and trying new things. Just look at my channel. I run a billion freaking experiments every single day on this channel. So I would never encourage anyone to not experiment, but at the same time, I do get the feeling that if you're learning something new, like a new skill, or like starting a business, or starting a new career, whatever it is, I would just stick to the basics. I think this is kind of saying, if you keep it simple, it will be very easy or kind of easy, and it will just flow. And I feel you need that. So I definitely wouldn't, overcomplicate, especially with that your dreams need a practical plan. You have the death card, which can be a big transformation coming in for you. Again, we are in an extremely transformative time, especially ending the year of the snake with Mercury retrograde in Sag. It went from Sag to Scorpio, and it's going to go direct in Scorpio. There's like a lot of stuff that I feel really is going to be kind of changing people on a very deep level. Also, Saturn and Neptune are going to move back into Aries next year in January and February. Next spring, Uranus will move back into Gemini. This year we had Pluto move into Aquarius to stay. It's like whenever we have all these major planets changing signs, definitely can cause some big changes for us on a personal level. And so you are probably processing all those changes, the shedding of your skin, the year of the snake, letting go of things that no longer serve you and moving into new opportunities. You have the Lovers. Definitely could be love. Like I said, it's funny, we don't see a person here except for the Page of Cups and King of Pentacles. Again, King of Pentacles can be a very stable person, so obviously that would be a good thing to attract a person who is stable and not nuts, right, Libra? So that would be good. I also feel, like I said, if you've been praying or asking for direction, like if you have been confused on like what actions to take or where to go in your life, you could definitely be getting some sort of direction here. Like I just feel like this is communication. The Lovers, this is your higher self angel at the top of the card, so it can represent like receiving information from your higher self, and I definitely feel this could be like communication. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Chariot. The Chariot is charging forward toward success. He is setting himself apart from this city behind him, and he's charging in a new direction. But again, he is kind of following a plan. He's doing that by being in alignment with what he wants. He has these stars up here, these moons right here, and he is just aligning with the energy of what he wants out of life. And because he's in alignment, he gets what he wants. And so it might be that simple for you. Like maybe there isn't a lot of work that you have to do. Maybe just getting into the energy or being the thing that you want to be is enough. With the Death card, you have the Judgment card. Yes, you have the Judgment in the Tower. Now, the Tower's coming up in the good stuff, so I'm not too worried about it in the first place, but Judgment and Tower is like a major revelation or a major wake-up call about your purpose. I consider this to be the most powerful combination in the tarot because it's like a big light bulb moment, like you understanding probably what step to take next. This is also your higher self angel at the top of the card. With the Lovers, you have the Two of Wands. Yeah, Two of Wands is about taking the lead. Really anything we want, I think we have to take the lead. Saturn in Aries next year. Saturn's in Pisces right now, but it's already been in Aries. And next year in February, at the end of February, it moves back into Aries. If we want things, we really have to go and get them, whatever it is. So, I've been saying all this year as well, 2025, that the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? It's like, being the person who makes something happen, you definitely want to be that type of person. I'm not saying you have to, if this is love, for example, you don't necessarily have to go, dance in this person's face or like tell them you're in love with them, but, communicating with them or flirting or doing something about it would be very helpful. But same thing with anything else that you want, really going for it is going to be important. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Imposter card that says disguise, deception, and manipulation. You have this Love card that says intimacy, unity, fulfillment, and harmony. So a lot of people have been getting what I describe as like devil energy. As a matter of fact, I think the other two air signs had the devil today, but also during the December readings, everybody had the devil. There's definitely something about us needing to pay attention to toxic vibes. I don't think this is a lover. I think this is multiple situations in your life where you should be paying attention. And again, I don't think I've ever seen the devil come up so much in readings. So I would definitely, again, if something doesn't feel right, I would really, really trust that. I've been saying this for a couple of months now as well. It's like, a couple months ago, I was driving home late at night from a class, and like I was talking to people there. I kind of wanted to go home, and I was just going to leave, but I stayed and I talked. And then on my ride home, I was pulling up. I literally pulled up to this like 4-car accident that happened. Like it must have just happened as I was pulling up, and like the cops were literally pulling up as I was pulling up. And it's like one of those things. If I left when I wanted to leave, like would I have been part of that accident? Maybe, right? So this isn't just people. I think if you have a weird feeling or if you feel like you should do something, I would really listen. I don't know. It just seems like one of those times. Same thing with a lover. If you meet a new lover and they seem off, then trust that feeling. Again, a reading can say love is coming in for you, but it doesn't mean it's good, right? So I would pay attention. You have the High Priestess, trust your intuition, 4 Swords and the 4 Cups. High Priestess is about reaching your full potential. It seems to me like you are definitely the number one sign that it has been getting these messages of really reaching your potential or kind of like exceeding your own expectations. She has no roof over her head. And yeah, the High Priestess can represent mysteries and trusting your intuition and stuff, but the no roof over her head says that she has unlimited potential. The only limitation is what's in between her 2 ears, her brain, right? And you have this card that says you are enough, you are good enough here, Libra. So I feel like you need to tell yourself you are good enough to do more, right? And I feel, for whatever reason, I feel like she wants you to expand, do more in life, really kind of, exceed your wildest dreams type of energy on her. You have the 4 Swords. Again, it's a great time for healing. Anytime we get to the end of a retrograde, even when it goes direct, it's still a great time for like the next 2 weeks, like the first 2 weeks of December, to be healing, resting, relaxing, recovering, all that other stuff. He's also hoping and praying for a blessing. There's a person right here who's blessing another person in this stained glass window. So you could be hoping or praying or asking for certain blessings in life. And again, I really feel this is tied to the lovers. I feel with the Magician and the lovers, maybe you've asked for guidance or a direction or an answer, and I feel like you're getting it. So there you go, Libra. Now, the trick is that you shouldn't question it, right? You have the 4 Cups here. He's tried to do something at least 3 times before, and he's getting another opportunity, but he's not accepting that opportunity because he has failed like 3 times before. So if you're getting another chance, then at anything in your life, I would definitely take that chance. This retrograde ends in Scorpio, and it goes direct in Scorpio. Sometimes I think that Scorpio energy can definitely bring us a second chance. We also have Saturn basically going direct at the same exact time, almost, right? Within 2 days, basically. Saturn goes direct on the 27th. And Saturn is karma. So, it kind of feels to me like you could be getting a second chance at something that could be karma, like a karmic gift or something like that. Karma teaches us lessons. He's learned a lot of lessons from these 3 cups. He just has to apply it to this new cup, and he will have success. So, could be like a karmic reward. With the High Priestess, you have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, I've been feeling this energy, this like wobbly energy, and this is not bad. What I feel is like if you start to doubt yourself, that's when you're going to wobble a little bit. I think the deeper you believe in yourself, the more you are going to be stable, and you're not going to fall over with the Queen of Wands. She has to be bold, assertive, confident. She has to make things happen. And that, the whole reading is pretty much saying that to you here, Libra. With the 4 Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles. News. Normally we consider the Knights to be messengers in the tarot, but I consider the Page of Pentacles to also be a messenger. And you've been asking for a message, like I said, right here. So I feel like you are getting the news or the information or the message that you have asked for. With the 4 Cups, you have the 4 Pentacles. 4 Pentacles is holding on too tightly to the past. He definitely is afraid of taking a chance. He's holding on too tightly to what was. And this is preventing him from exceeding his own expectations, which is definitely what this reading wants you to do. It wants you to, do the hard thing that will greatly improve your life. And yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it will definitely be worth it here, Libra. So I would. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this family room card. It says private family matters, comfortable matters, kept secret, inner soul, intimacy, private discussion. You have a success in love. It says romantic love, falling in love, new love, successful outcome in love, mutual love, intimacy, loyalty. So you could be attracting a very loyal person. Again, I would be careful of any devilish, people. I would make sure if you're dating that you're really kind of looking at results. Pluto and Aquarius, right? I talk about this all the time. Pluto and Aquarius is actually very simple because the evidence is usually obvious during Pluto and Aquarius. It's like one part of it. If we become a detective, if someone says something and they do it, great, there's your evidence, right? If they say things and they don't do the things that they say, there's your evidence, right? And so I feel as long as you pay attention, you will be able to find a good person, if you're dating or if you're kind of like looking for love at this time, Libra. You have the Six of Cups, the Hangman, and the Tower. Again, Six of Cups is great for love. A lot of people read it as past love, but I definitely feel this is someone new. This is a card of innocence and nostalgia. Just represents thinking about the past. But I feel this could be like a new soulmate coming in for you. You have a lot of sixes here, or 2 6s at least. So 2 6s says you're on the right path. You're going in the right direction, and I like that. I would also say that December had a playfulness to it, in the December monthly readings that I did. Six of Cups is a card of like embracing your inner child, and definitely next year, I would start now, Libra, but with Uranus and Gemini, I do feel it is a good energy for being more childlike, because Uranus and Gemini wants us to come up with other ways of doing everything that we do in life. And being playful will have you finding playful, fun solutions. And I also think, as I always say to you, I think the energy is just too damn serious right now, and we need to get it moving in the other direction. So that's what I would do here. You have the Hangman. Hangman is about seeing things from a new perspective. He's hanging from the tree of knowledge and wisdom, and he's just looking at things upside down. Again, I feel this could also be answers that you have been waiting to receive on, like, what your next step should be. So I would be paying attention to those answers. He at a certain point, he has to move. He has put himself in Hangman mode, but the good news is it's coming up in the good stuff. So I do feel that you are probably moving forward now. You have the Tower. The Tower, of course, can represent a Tower moment, but it's coming up in the good stuff. So obviously, I think you either are healing from a Tower moment or you're avoiding a Tower moment. The other thing I would be paying attention to is like light bulb moments, especially during Uranus and Gemini. Again, not to beat a dead horse here, but Uranus and Gemini, it's like information comes in one side, it just goes out the other. And so for you air signs especially, and even if you just are an air rising sign, like if you're watching this and you're Libra rising, if you have significant air placements, you need to capture those ideas so that you don't lose them. We also probably should start our ideas quickly during Uranus and Gemini. So for the next 7 years or so, we shouldn't wait too long, because we will lose the inspiration, and we should at least try our ideas. The beautiful thing about the energy we're entering into is if something isn't going to work, it's just not going to work very quickly. I think part of the problem is that we had Pluto in Aquarius for too long. Or Pluto in Capricorn, sorry. Pluto and Capricorn, it's like you can start something, you can put a year of work into it, and then it doesn't work. So I feel people are a little bit nervous to get started on things, because we are all probably too used to putting a bunch of work into something and then wasting a bunch of time, and so we're afraid to waste time, right? And I feel like this is saying that's not going to happen anymore. If you start something, it's not going to work, it's just not going to work right away. With the Six of Cups, you have the Fool. It kind of gives me the feelings that some of you are going to get swept up in something here. The Fool can be feeling a little bit foolish, but at the same time, I feel it's good. So I don't know. If you get swept up in a relationship and it's good, who cares? With the Hangman, you have the Seven of Cups. Yeah, the whole reading talks about answers, clarity. Seven of Cups normally is confusion or being spoiled for choice or having too many options. But again, it's coming up in the area of the good stuff, so I feel like you are gaining clarity. It's like you are going to be seeing things clearly. You're going to understand what to do more clearly, and obviously this is a good thing. With the Tower, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands, yeah, going on the adventure. If you have a light bulb moment this month, even, not even just this first week, but I would say the entire month, I would make sure that you're following through on those light bulb moments, because who knows? You never know where those ideas are going to take you, Libra. Probably to good places. You have this Broken Ring card. It says parting the ways, either in romance or business. I think everybody at the end of the year here is leaving something behind. Again, it's the year of the snake and the Chinese zodiac, and we're all shedding our skin. So there are probably many things that we're leaving behind, but really it's a good thing. You have this Feather. It says someone you know is undependable and insincere. Again, everybody has had something about this devil energy. I think everybody really needs to pay attention to the people in their lives. And so if there is a person like this, obviously I would avoid them and avoid the drama. You have this October in this wheel. It says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. I think you're getting a direction this week. Probably this first week of December. where you're going to understand what direction you should take. Maybe you've been confused since October, or maybe you haven't been sure what to do. It feels more like a lull in the energy is how I would describe it, Libra, how I feel about it. Like things slowed down, and now I think things are speeding back up. You have the scissors. It says disappointment in some affair. Yeah, if something isn't working, I would just get rid of it, plain and simple. I think we want, I say I think because I don't know. But, I just get the feeling that next year I think we want to be light on our feet. I think people who are not, too stuck to things and who are more flexible are going to have an easier time, right? And so I think this is saying, be light on your feet. If you need to make a change, be willing to make a change. And you have this wealth card, so definitely very amazing. Could be building your wealth here, Libra. But this looks amazing. I love it. So thank you for being here. Make sure to like, leave a comment, and definitely enjoy your week.